Before this, the longest road trip I'd ever been on was to the Smoky Mountains. For Lee, well, he had snuck off to Key West once when I couldn't go. And then there's Adam. Well, he and I had ridden to Savannah before, but he had never been on a road trip. So sit back and watch as we take 6 days to travel over 2,500 miles through 7 states, including Texas and Oklahoma. Day 1, we met at Lee's house before daybreak and wasted no time hitting the road, as we had over 530 miles ahead of us. We started by following US 231 into Montgomery, Alabama, where we would pick up I-65 and travel north to Birmingham. Once in Birmingham, we would merge onto I-22 and follow it to Tupelo, Mississippi. From there, we would travel US 278 across North Mississippi to Clarksdale, where we would stay the night.
Just stop, can't stop these static voices, just noises to me. I'm done, I'm through with your toxic world. I watch it burn to ashes outside with no regret. Let the fire rise inside me. I'm on fire. All my life I've been waiting for a chance to burn it higher. Light me up, won't stop till it all ignites. One punch, one shot will never break me again. Nothing you do can take me down. I'll never flinch, no fear. I'll never walk away. Let the fire rise inside me. I'm a fighter. All my life I've been waiting for a chance to burn it higher. Light me up, I won't stop till it all ignites. I'm a fighter. All my life I've been waiting for a chance to burn it higher. Light me up, I won't stop till it all ignites. Light me up, I won't stop till it all ignites.
Just south of Birmingham and Pelham, we stopped at the heart of Dixie Harley-Davidson and then ate lunch at a local Mexican restaurant before continuing north.
Till it all ignites.
Just another day on the front line, forced to apologize. a misfit, maybe I'm a no one. Push me to the dirt, yeah, the one you always spin on. I am not worthless, I don't deserve that. Now I will take this, won't be faceless, now it's time to say it. You better bite your tongue, I'm about to come undone. Now my moment's here, I'm not the only one. Maybe I'll fight, maybe when I'm older. But if I face you now, maybe I'm a soldier.
We exited I-22 in Tupelo, Mississippi and was looking for a place to stretch our legs. Being that the birthplace of Elvis was just a few miles south, we decided to stop and pay our respects to the king.
You can turn my world upside down in a rush like I've not felt before. I can trust myself.
Clarksdale just before sunset. We got checked into the Shack Up Inn and then rode into Clarksdale for pizza at the Stone Pony. I recorded the inside of our grain bin but forgot to video the outside. Day 2. We started the day off in our rain suits, and with the remnants of Tropical Storm Beta moving through the area, it meant we would be in them most of the day. Before leaving Clarksdale, we stopped at the crossroads of US 49 and US 61. As legend has it, Robert Johnson met the devil there and traded his soul in order to play the blues. We then continued north on US 49 and crossed the Mississippi River into Arkansas. We stayed on 49 until we merged onto I-40, which we would later nickname Trucker Alley. We met up with I-30 in Little Rock and turned south on it until we exited onto US 70, which took us into Broken Bow, Oklahoma. From there we followed Oklahoma Highway 3 to Antlers, and then Oklahoma Highway 2 to Moyers, where we would camp for the next few nights.
This voice is about to expose, and my breath is barely catching.
We stopped southwest of Little Rock in order to visit Rock City Harley-Davidson and to eat lunch. While pulling into Rock City, I noticed the flag was at half-mast due to the death of a Supreme Court justice. However, it made me think of my brothers and sisters who came back home under that flag. We all sacrificed some, but they sacrificed it all. Stopped at a Shell station for a break. However, we should have topped off our fuel. We had approximately 100 miles to Antlers, Oklahoma, and we would be riding close to empty by the time we arrived.
Can you miss what you never have known? And can you ache for a place that was never your home? No misgivings or shame, like a moth to the flame, to burn up or fizzle alone. Can you know who inhabits your skin? And can you trust that you won't blow away in the wind? Do you tether your hopes or let go of the ropes in the hope that you someday descend? Just follow the road, the blood in your veins like a track for the trains. The heart always aims for the place where you belong. Just follow it. though it may not agree with the path that you seek. Sometimes you just need to stop searching and stand up and go. Just follow the road. Can a bird take flight in the sky with no map and no compass for thousands of miles, and just glide through the air on a wing and a prayer till the day he finally arrives? When the rain comes out of the clouds, it makes no decision to fall to the ground. Its fate was ordained when the time came to rain. There's nowhere to go now but down. Just follow the road. The blood in your veins like a track for the trains. The heart always aims for the place where you belong. Just follow it home. Though it may not agree with the path that you seek, sometimes you just need to stop searching and stand up and go. Just follow the road.
After getting fuel and food in Antlers, Oklahoma, we traveled to the campground. We got there right at dark, which meant we would be using flashlights to set up the camp. After setting up camp, we sat around the campfire and reminisced about the day's events and speculated what the next day would bring. Day 3. We gathered a few things and packed them into our saddlebags before leaving camp. We then picked up the Indian Nation Turnpike in Antlers and followed it until it turned into US Highway 62. We then stayed on US 62 until we reached the East meets West sculpture in Tulsa, Oklahoma. The sculpture is a symbolic midpoint on Route 66. It depicts an early model Ford of the East meeting a horse-drawn wagon of the West. After visiting the sculpture, we traveled Route 66, also known as the Mother Road, from Tulsa to Seba Station near Warwick, Oklahoma. My camera batteries would go dead just after Chandler, meaning our return trip to camp would go unfilmed.
Into their mind.
rode the Mother Road, we would stop and visit places like the Route 66 Historical Village, Ollie's Station Restaurant, Heart of Route 66 Auto Museum, and Seba Station Motorcycle Museum. We would also go through little towns like Bristow, Stroud, and Chandler. We enjoyed our time looking at the Americana time capsule known as Route 66 and wish we would have more time to ride more of it.
Keep my hands on myself. Take out dust them off, put them back up on the shelf. Kiss my little baby girl is in need. Am I coming out of left field? Ooh, I'm a rebel just for kicks now. I've been feeling it since 1966 now. Might be over now, but I feel it still. I'm a rebel just for kicks now. Let me kick it like it's 1986 now. Might be over now, but I feel it still. I can feel it still.
After leaving Route 66 near Warwick, we started looking for a gas station to fuel up. We found a Sinclair station and stopped for gas. You see, growing up, a family friend had a Sinclair station dinosaur in their front yard, and it still sits there today. As a kid, we would play on it, and numerous pictures of us riding it were taken. Therefore, I wanted to see a Sinclair dinosaur at an actual Sinclair station. However, I would not ride this one. Well, maybe I did. Day 4. As we traveled north on Oklahoma Highway 2, we were blessed with views of fog-draped mountains and it wasn't long before we were in it. As the morning moved along, the fog would eventually give way to the sun. Today, we would travel to Tallahena, Oklahoma, and pick up the Talamina National Scenic Byway, which spans 54 miles and runs between Tallahena, Oklahoma, and Mena, Arkansas, offering 22 mountainous views along its route. Since the Talamina was only about an hour north of our campground, and the return trip was only about 2 hours, we decided to turn south in Mena, Arkansas, and ride down into Texas before returning to the camp for the night. Once at camp, we would start organizing our gear for our return trip to Florida.
If I bleed tonight, if I am sad tonight, I don't have a job to find. And if I work tonight, if I'm so tired tonight, I'll fall asleep when I'm home, when I'm home. I was just so far from here, focused on my own way, with never looking back to those who lived in fear. There was nothing I could do, there was nothing you said that could make me realize how much lucky I was. Just out of reach of the fire, was not aware of this nightmare. But when I stopped to see through sight, begging for help, begging for hope, just need to open my eyes now, to try to change them to sunshine, to be someone among others. I've got to try to if I bleed tonight, if I am sad.
While stopping at one of the many overlooks, we met 3 other bikers. They told us about a state park lodge, which we would later stop at. Although they told us that the lodge restaurant served good food, we would wait until Mena before grabbing lunch. It is always good to visit with other bikers. You never know what information you may learn.
I can see my life is crap, I have to see them too. I just live into my world, far from the pain, the feel. Just out of reach of the fire, was not aware of the start of hell. But when I stop to see through sight, begging for help, begging for hope, just need to open my eyes now, to try to change them to sunshine, to be someone among others. I've got to try. If I bleed tonight, if I am sad tonight, I don't have a job to find. And if I work tonight, if I'm so tired tonight, I'll fall asleep when I'm home. I was so wrong, I was so blind, I was so dumb and out of time. I was so wrong, I was so blind, I was so bad.
After crossing into Arkansas on the Talamina Byway, we stopped at an Arkansas State Park lodge. We took an extended break there and discussed the ride thus far. When we left Florida, we thought Route 66 would be the highlight of our trip. Boy, were we wrong. I can personally attest that the video clips do not do the Talamina Byway justice. We would find out that the Arkansas side was just as amazing as the Oklahoma side.
If I work tonight, if I'm so tired tonight, I'll fall asleep when I'm home, when I'm
the show. Play it loud and make the people get low, and I like it. I like how it sounds. Yeah. Alright, here we go. We used to writing almost every day, and now we're used to writing and getting paid, and I like it. I like how it sounds.
I will take a bow tonight, and then we'll celebrate. Let it all pour out, spend it all, don't count. You like it?
Sun is rising, we're living it up, we're living it up, yeah. Take it from me, not giving it up, not giving it up, yeah. No time for wasting, we're tearing it up, we're tearing it up. Whoa, I like it. I know you listen almost every night. It makes you crazy, girl, you know I'm your type, 'cause you like it. You like how it sounds. I sent the label what they wanted to hear. In 20 minutes wrote the song of the year, and they liked it. Yeah, yeah, they like how it sounds.
I will take a bow tonight.
We stopped at Paris Harley-Davidson in Paris, Texas, before crossing the Red River again, making our way back towards Antlers, Oklahoma. Once in Antlers, we would eat supper at a Mexican restaurant before returning to the campground. Our ride north on US 271 from Paris to Antlers was nice. Most of it was open spaces with rolling hills in the distance and the sun setting to the west.
The sun is rising, we're living it up, we're living it up, yeah. Won't take it from me, not giving it up, not giving it up, yeah. No time for wasting, we're tearing it up, we're tearing it up. Whoa, I like it. The sun is rising, we're living it up, we're living it up, yeah. Won't take it from me, not giving it up, not giving it up, yeah. No time for wasting, we're tearing it up, we're tearing it up. Whoa, I like it. The sun is rising, we're living it up, we're living it up, yeah. Don't take it from me, not giving it up, not giving it up, yeah.
Once we made it back to camp, it was all about getting ready for the next day. We would have an early start and wanted to get as much done as possible. Day 5. We left at sunup as we had over 500 miles to put behind us. The fog was so thick that the bottom of our jeans became soaked as we rode down the highway. When we left the campground, we had hoped to make it all the way to Hattiesburg, Mississippi. However, our backup plan was to stop in Jackson. As the day went along, it became obvious that we would make it to Hattiesburg, and our thoughts turned to maybe pushing through to Mobile, Alabama for the night. However, fate would intervene and we would not make it to Mobile, but more about that later. This day would take us out of Oklahoma, through Texas, Arkansas, Louisiana, and into Mississippi. Along the way, we would stop at Texarkana Harley-Davidson, 3 States Harley-Davidson, and Warhart Harley-Davidson.
I want it all.
Something inside is gonna make you wonder what the hell you're doing here.
You got a kick to keep from going under. Lord, it's a lonesome kind of fear that I'll never say what I'll always know, and disappoint you when you're alone. 'Cause these things that I have seen, these places I go, they're gonna lead down a lonely road.
After leaving Texarkana Harley-Davidson, we took Interstate 49 south towards Shreveport, Louisiana. While on I-49 just south of the Louisiana border, my bike would go dead, and I thought we would be in for a lengthy delay. As I pulled onto the side of I-49, I noticed that I had unknowingly hit the kill switch on my bike. I was able to flip it back to run and continue south towards Shreveport.
I've been afraid, been lost for days without the strength to carry on. But knew I had love.
I've settled scores, locked open doors, tried to pace the time, but I want it all. Drown out the cold, Lord, I want it all.
Something inside is gonna make you wonder what the hell you doing here.
You gotta kick to keep from going under. Lord, it's a lonesome kind of fear that I'll never say what I'll always know, and disappoint you when you're low. These things that I have seen, these places I go, they're gonna lead down a lonely road. I'll never say, I'll always know, and disappoint you when you're low. These things that I have seen, these places I go, they're gonna lead down a lonely road. I'll never say, I'll always know, and disappoint you when you're low. Things I have seen, places I go, they're gonna lead down a lonely road. I'll never say, I'll always know, and disappoint you when you're low.
It's just another doorway to open up and see what kind of lifeline will be waiting there for me. I need to bury all these fears and let them fade away. I'm not scared, I'm prepared to find myself again. I wanna fly over mountains, I wanna reach the end. I'll rise up from the ashes, I wanna burn again. I'll find my way through the bitterness I'm feeling. I won't rest, I won't give up, I'm still healing. I'm still healing. I won't give up, I'm still healing. I fight the pain that I once let kill my vibe. I fear the day that I lose the chance to fight. So I stand up tall, ready to face it all again. And I will not fall, I won't lose again. I wanna fly over mountains, I wanna reach the end. I'll rise up from the ashes.
Remember when I said fate intervened and we would stop in Hattiesburg? Well, we would make it to Jackson, Mississippi and turn south on US Highway 49. While just south of Jackson, after being stopped by a red light, Adam attempted to accelerate and upshift into a higher gear. When he did so, his shifter went limp, and we would spend some time on the side of the road diagnosing the issue and coming up with a solution. We determined that the splines between the shifter shaft and the shifter arm stripped. I ended up zip tying a pair of vice grips to the shifter arm, and Adam would have to use his left hand to shift until we were able to get the parts to fix the issue. This would not take place until the next day. Rumor has it that later in the year, Santa Claus would give Adam a pair of vice grips for Christmas. Day 6. We left Hattiesburg around 5 a.m. It was going to be a shorter day for Lee and I. However, Adam had over 500 miles to get home. Plus, we still needed to fix his bike. Mobile Bay Harley-Davidson would be closed for the day, and we would be well past Pensacola by the time the Harley shop there would open. Therefore, we would not be able to fix Adam's bike until Tallahassee. The weather this day would be inconsistent, leaving us riding through rain, fog, and sunshine.
Leave you lost in the lights, doing what I can to fix all of my heartache. I keep it inside, like a shadow in the night. I got lost in your city, I believed it was home. I thought that you would stick with me, but I'm better alone, better alone. I don't think that you'll miss me, but I don't care, 'cause I know forever's not what you're giving, so I'm letting you go. Goodbye, Tokyo. Goodbye, Tokyo. Hanging on your kiss, looking back when I'm lonely. Do you think that I'm a fool to say so? Do you ever miss me when you're happy? Or have you moved on? I don't wanna know, no, I don't wanna know. I got lost in your city, I believed it was unbelievable. I thought that you would stick with me.
After passing through the Mobile River Tunnel and crossing the Mobile Bay Bridge, we entered the boring ride of I-10. This stretch of road has very little sightseeing opportunities unless pine trees are your thing. We throttled back and pushed through as we were all ready to be home.
They say I'll forget you with time. 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 They say goodbye. 'Cause I got lost in your city, and I believed it was home. Thought that you would stick with me, I'm better alone, better alone. I don't think that you'll miss me, I don't care, 'cause I know forever's not what you're giving, so I'm letting you go. Goodbye, Tokyo. Yeah, goodbye, Tokyo. So you wanna go to war with me? You're talking like you think you're royalty. You think that I'm afraid, but I don't break. I heard you question my stability. You think I'll fall just like a guillotine, but I am here to stay. Won't look away. The storm is coming, so you better start running. No, you can't control. Feel it in my bones. I'm coming for the, coming for the.
We stopped at a rest area to put on our rain suits. As we were leaving, I caught Adam's shifting procedures on camera. As it would turn out, we put our rain suits on just in time. Just a few miles down the road, the rain would start and we would pass a group of bikers who waited just a little too long to gear up. The rain would set in and pour on us for about an hour and a half. As we got closer to Lee's house, he would exit the interstate and use the back roads to make it home safely. Adam and I would press on towards Tallahassee Harley-Davidson as we still needed to fix his bike.
If I don't belong with your nobility, who died and made you king of anything? You think that I'm insane? It's your mistake. Kingdoms rise and fall. I've come to take it all. I'll take it. I've come to take it. Kingdoms rise and fall. I've come to take it all. I'll take it all. The storm is coming, so you better start running. No, you can't control. Feel it in my bones. I'm coming for the, coming for the.
As we pulled into Tallahassee Harley-Davidson, Adam and I knew this was the end of the road for us. We had been riding for the better part of 6 days, and this is where we were going to part ways. An earlier phone call confirmed that Tallahassee Harley had the parts we needed. It was about a 20-minute repair, and since it was raining, the Harley staff let us use their shop area to make the repairs. We got Adam's bike fixed and he quickly got back on the road as he still had several hours in order to make it home. As I rode home alone, I began thinking about the next trip, where it would take us, and how would it compare to this one.